Welcome to MotoGP in 9 minutes. Here is what you need to know today. Marc Marquez arrived at Ducati in 2026 as the reigning world champion with everything to prove. Instead, he has become the cautionary tale of a season that has not gone according to plan. The Austrian rider is now fifth in the championship standings, trailing Marco Bezzecchi by 44 points, and Bez has won the opening 3 rounds while riding for Aprilia Racing. This is not how anyone expected the season to unfold. Marquez has failed to secure a podium finish in a main race all season, a result that sits far below the enormous expectations that surrounded his move to the Ducati team. The situation has become so serious that MotoGP legend Max Biagi delivered a harsh public comment that sent shockwaves through the paddock. Biagi said Marquez looked like he was riding a tractor while trying to match the speed of the Aprilia bikes. The comment was far more than just an insult. It reflected a genuine and growing performance gap between Ducati and Aprilia Racing that is becoming impossible to ignore. What makes this situation feel particularly serious is that Marquez's problems are no longer about adapting to a new bike or finding the perfect setup. Many analysts now believe Ducati is genuinely struggling to keep up with Aprilia's development pace and innovation. The red bikes that once dominated MotoGP are starting to show real cracks in their armor, and every race weekend only makes that truth more obvious. Marquez showed this struggle again during free practice at the French Grand Prix, finishing 9th and falling significantly behind the aggressive Aprilia riders from the very beginning of the session. This is a rider who has won world championships and pulled off miraculous comebacks. Yet now he cannot break into the front group on a bike that used to be considered the best package on the grid. The pressure building around Marquez and Ducati is becoming almost unbearable. Moving on, let us examine what is actually wrong with the Ducati package right now. In several recent onboard shots, Marquez's bike appeared extremely aggressive at the front end, but struggled significantly with traction coming out of corners. This forced him to make repeated extreme corrections just to keep the motorcycle stable under acceleration. The fundamental character difference between the Ducati and the Aprilia is becoming very obvious now, especially at technical circuits like Bugatti where front-end stability and smooth acceleration are absolutely crucial to performance. Aprilia has built a package that looks extremely stable under braking, aggressive during corner exits, yet still smooth when managing tires over long race distances. That combination is why the Aprilia riders look so comfortable in almost every track condition. The situation is even more frustrating because Ducati has not lost its aggressive DNA. The bike still has that sharp edge that has defined the brand for years. But now that aggression is working against Marquez instead of helping him, he cannot fully exploit the bike's potential because the front-end instability forces him into defensive riding modes rather than the attacking style that made him famous throughout his career. In several instances, Marquez has been forced to ride more conservatively than his natural instincts would normally allow. That conservative approach is completely against his racing philosophy and his personality as a competitor. I think what we are seeing here is a bike that was built for a different philosophy than what Marquez needs right now. Ducati created a package that rewards smooth, precise inputs. But Marquez has always thrived on aggression, on braking hard, on pushing the limits beyond where other riders dare to go. Now those two philosophies are colliding, and the results have not been pretty. The Ducati is also said to be struggling with consistency across different track types. What works perfectly at one venue becomes problematic at another. That inconsistency has made it nearly impossible for Marquez to develop a reliable riding style that he can trust from race to race. Next up, let us discuss what MotoGP legend Casey Stoner has said about Marquez's current situation, because his analysis adds an important dimension to this story. According to Stoner, Marquez's problem is not just about the bike or team strategy, but also his physical condition, which is still not fully recovered after last season's serious injury. Stoner firmly stated that Marquez no longer has the maximum physical strength needed to brake as aggressively as he used to. That observation is absolutely critical because extreme braking ability has always been Marquez's greatest weapon and his calling card. He became famous for braking later and harder than his rivals to create overtaking opportunities that other riders simply could not execute. But now that advantage is slowly disappearing. The issue becomes even more crucial because the Ducati Desmosedici requires significant physical strength, especially during deceleration and corner entry phases. This is a bike that demands a lot from the rider's upper body and arms. If Marquez is still not fully recovered physically, then he cannot extract the maximum potential from this particular motorcycle. Stoner's assessment makes complete sense when you consider that Marquez managed to secure a sprint race victory and one podium early in the season, yet he still has not reached the podium in a main race. That gap between sprint performance and main race performance is a clear sign that something is not completely right physically or mentally. A fully fit Marquez would not show this inconsistency. He would either be competitive across the board or struggling across the board. The fact that he can show occasional flashes of brilliance in shorter sprints but cannot sustain that performance in longer races suggests that stamina and physical conditioning are playing a significant role. I believe Stoner's analysis is the most honest and realistic assessment we have heard so far. Everyone wants to blame the bike, and yes, the bike has real problems. But Marquez also needs to acknowledge that his body may still be asking for more recovery time before he can truly attack at the level required to beat Bezzecchi and the rest of the Aprilia Armada. Now let us talk about the glimmer of hope that has finally emerged for Ducati and Marquez. During the official post-race test in Jerez, Marquez showed promising signs of a genuine comeback. Ducati arrived with a new development package that included aerodynamic revisions, swing arm changes, and even the exploration of a new chassis design. The results were immediate and significant. Marquez became the fastest Ducati rider in the test session with a lap time that showed real improvement compared to his previous performances. Although he was still behind several Aprilia riders, the performance showed that Ducati's development direction may finally be heading down the right path. Most importantly, it was not just about raw lap times. It was about Marquez's confidence beginning to return in a real and noticeable way. He admitted that he now feels more comfortable with the front end of the bike, especially in left-hand corners, which have always been one of his strongest areas as a rider. When a rider like Marquez starts feeling comfortable in the corners that suit his style best, that is a genuine sign that progress is being made. Ducati team manager Davide Tartasi revealed that the main focus of development has been on aerodynamics and bike stability without losing the aggressive character that defines the Desmosedici. The early results have reportedly been very positive, especially for Marquez's riding style. Not only that, Marquez also completed a total of 68 laps during the test without any significant physical issues. That became another important sign that his body condition is improving and that his recovery process from last season's injury is moving in a positive direction. The fact that he could do that volume of laps without problems is genuinely encouraging for both the rider and the team going forward into the rest of the season. Switching gears, we need to discuss a concerning incident that happened at Jerez and what it means for Marquez moving forward. Marquez crashed during the sprint race, but his actions immediately